Hello everybody, Xander here, and today we're back with another book review. Late one, but for July, we've got one of two in July. Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman by Haruki Murakami. And this is a Japanese short story compilation, I think released in like the 80s, I think. Oh, 2006, okay. 2006. And is essentially a almost back and forth of mundane and surreal stories by Murakami that go from someone's like normal, like, boring life. And there's kind of like a message behind it related to that sort of life, or what that life should be, or something really weird like someone trying to get to a job interview that is blocked by a password, and or a story of a monkey that is also kind of a criminal. Stuff like that. It's very interesting. This is, I think, the second Japanese novel I've read, though it's a short story compilation, so not fully a novel, but still a viewpoint or a look into Japanese writing. The first being from this year as well, Sweet Bean Paste, which was a bit of a disappointing read. And in terms of this, I don't know. I wouldn't say this is disappointing. It's more so just I didn't expect a lot of it to be like kind of what I said, mixture of mundane and surreal, but it's kind of like, okay, interesting. I just don't know what to think. And that could be also be a feign of, to some degree, I'm not always great at reading between the lines or understanding the theme of a story when it's either really mundane or really weird. Because I usually just read books to be entertained in an alternate way to being entertained by a movie or a video game. So I'm not great at reading themes, but that might just be my own problem and not Haruki Murakami's problem, because from what I can understand and read, he is a good writer. Not that I have like the biggest authority or understanding on what makes a good writer, outside of I personally didn't mind the way his writing was. It might also just be the fact that I'm not entirely used to short stories, because the only and last short story book I read was by Elmore Leonard, and that was somewhat that was contemporary, but it was also, some of them were more straightforward and more almost mundane, but others were more crime based, because he's kind of a crime writer. But I understood that a little more. But it could also be a feign of, this is a Japanese author, and a lot of the stories are set in Japan, with a few of them relating to America a little bit, whether it's a person visiting America or talking about something American, that sort of thing. I mean, there's even a story set in Greece with Japanese protagonists talking about an American story on a English Greek newspaper. So there's stuff like that, but there are probably little things that I'm just not getting. But for the most part, I did like this book. I didn't enjoy it or love it, but I liked it, which might be pretty close to enjoyment, but I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe I need to read more Murakami, especially like a more like big and straightforward story, like one of his his big novels, to understand a little more. Because I know a lot of people have talked about Kafka on the Shore. I think that's one of his big books, and some other ones. So outside of that, that's kind of all I have to say about, this, because, not only does it have a bunch of short stories, so I can't talk in detail about a lot of them, mostly because I didn't understand the themes, but also because it was just kind of like a lot of them felt like a blur, like either the mundane ones or the surreal ones. Some of them just became a blur to where it's like, okay, this was kind of happening, but that's just my opinion. I'm probably, the least authority on something like this. Someone who is much more into literature and much smarter than me could really enjoy this and understand this more than I ever will. But that's just me. So I'm gonna give Haruki Murakami's Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman a 6.5 out of 10. I say this because I don't know if I enjoyed it enough to warrant even a 7, just because it's kind of like, I didn't hate it, but it's just, what do you do other than be like, okay, yeah. So I'd say that's above, like slightly more above average than just above average. So those are my thoughts on Haruki Murakami for this short story compilation. Maybe I'll like him the more I read of him, but that's it for now. Hope you didn't mind this short review. Make sure to check out my other stuff where I talk about books that I can talk about a little more, and some of them I actually enjoyed a little more. Maybe like this video if you didn't mind me trying my best to talk about this book while also being befuddled and confused, just overall confused. And maybe subscribe if you want to support the channel. Not too much to support, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And check out some of my better reviews, much better reviews. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time.